How's it going, boys and girls? Oh, happy Wednesday. Hope you're all well. I just popped over to ITP and saw he was looking through the Guru and Paddy video. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but seems like it was quite an amicable one by the looks of things. I've only seen like little snippets of it so far, but I'm looking forward to actually checking it out. This might be one Guru video that I definitely have to watch. Hope everyone's well on this fine Wednesday, though. Oh. Shout out to you, Northie, as well, if you're still hanging about. Hope everything's well. Yeah, it's quite big news at the moment. It's really kind of cool that Paddy went on there because I know they've had their differences in the past. So, how we doing, crossover? What's good, my man? Are you a Paddy fan? Not sure if you are or not. I used to really despise him, but since the Tony Ferguson fight and his little interaction during the press conference, I kind of warmed to him a little bit more. You know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend and all that kind of stuff. I've definitely warmed up to him a little bit more. I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I'm definitely more on board than I was, for sure. He comes across, from what I've seen, from the very little that I've seen of the Guru video. Again, he's coming across quite likable and down to earth as well. I think when he shows that side of his personality, he's much more likable. Like apparently on his pods and stuff, he's really he's pretty likable. Hey, how you doing, Westy? What's good, brother? I'm expecting a somewhat quiet start to the evening because I know that ITP went on live later than he usually does. So yeah, I'm expecting a bit of a slow start tonight, but you never know. Yeah, his journalistic skills are not too shabby. Like he can put on a good interview. Like that, it's one of his strengths. Like he's he's used to being in a live setting. He's been doing it for many years now. And he seems to be somebody who can kind of go off the cuff fairly easily. So I'm surprised we haven't seen him do more, to be honest, because he is obviously massive in the space, but he's a bit of a tricky one to gauge. I can understand why fighters kind of might avoid him a little bit, you know. But it's I think this Paddy video might help boost him a little bit because they seem to be vibing quite well from what I've seen of it. I mean, there was a lot of hype going into it that potentially they had some kind of like misunderstanding, and maybe that comes later on in the video. But as I said, I haven't seen the full extent of it yet. I've only seen kind of the early parts of it. How you doing, Melson? How's it going, brother? Walking into the chat like a fucking cunt as always. How you doing, man? But yeah, I definitely have to get around to watching that video at some point. It looks like it's an interesting one. What I've always liked about Guru is his ability to analyze fights. He has a good eye, and the thing is, here being able to analyze fights, he gets a lot of shit for his pick record this year particularly. But MMA is unpredictable, man. We know you can do all the research in the world, and sometimes it can actually be a detriment. It really can. It really can, because sometimes the game just doesn't make sense. And obviously, the bigger you get in the game, the more scrutiny you're more likely to get under for your picks. But I remember back in the day, he was pretty good at picking fights. But the last few years have been very unpredictable. In particular, I feel like we've had a lot of underdogs winning, So it has got tougher, but he didn't quite have a 70% win ratio like your boy had last year, which is on record. I just don't have the same amount of people watching, obviously, so I don't get my dick sucked as well, to be honest. It's just a sad state of affairs. How are we all doing though? We all good tonight? It's quite unlike you to censor yourself, Westy. You've been on a hot streak, but it's a hard game to predict. Do you know what? Yeah, I found that the picks aren't really that important. It's kind of how I've been betting. Like I used to just like, my go-to was to like, I do like two lower dollar parlays. Like I'd put like $25 on one parlay and I keep saying dollars, £25 on one parlay and another 25 on another. And sometimes they'd hit, sometimes they'd miss. But generally I was kind of breaking even more often than not. I find now that when I just do high dollar doubles, that seems to be saving my bacon. So yeah, that tends to be how I go. I just usually pick two fights that I feel fairly certain on, and then I bet 100, $200 and try and double up on that. See how it goes. City Life lied about me and said I called his friend the N word. The audacity. I don't think that's audacious though, is it? I mean, it's not. It's kind of your mo at this point. Hey man, I don't judge you for it, but I don't think it's I don't think it's too out of pocket to get that kind of accusation. To be honest, 70% is really good. I'm not on that level, but you're doing okay on the bets this year. 70% was what I was at officially last year because obviously I would do entire cards, and then at the end of the card, I would evaluate my picks and stuff, and then I'd change my percentage obviously on a weekly basis. And I was kind of floating in and around like 67, 68% for the majority of the year. But in the last few cards, I managed to push it just over the threshold. So I managed to literally hit 70%. I think it was actually 69.88. I'll round it up. I felt like I deserved it after such a good year. But yeah. And then I kind of obviously moved away from that kind of content this year. And we've been doing a lot more MMA topic videos and live streams and stuff like that. So I don't do prediction videos as much, but maybe I should. It's just a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I found that like obviously because I knew I was fucking with people's money, I would put a bucket load of research into it. Um, and they're just tough videos to make. So, and so many people are doing it as well. I'm just like, fuck it. No, I didn't say that though. I called Ngannou the N word with an A at the end. Oh, so it wasn't with the hard R. That was I assumed you were talking about with the soft A. Um, so on that front, you probably have been slandered. But you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes, I guess. You're still my boy anyway. I still got love for you, man. Just maybe refrain from putting yourself in that situation. I'm hanging out with my sister, playing darts, going to be lurking. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for stopping by anyway. I always appreciate it. I suck at darts as well. It's a tough game. I think people have this assumption that all British people are good at darts. We're fucking not. It's a tough game. Like I've played a couple times down the pub, but it's usually the kind of game you play when you're fucking shit faced. So that doesn't help. It's a fun game though. It's a fun game to play on a one-off. I love playing darts. I'm terrible at it though. That's the thing. It's a lot tougher than people think it is. You can kind of see, when they do like the slow motion, the way the dart moves. Tough game, man. For the good thing about it is you don't really need to train for it. You just need to practice a fuckload and vape a lot, and apparently that's the key to success. Yeah, Jax, I have my moments at darts, but I'm mid. Mid is not bad. I mean, depends what you consider mid. Like, do you follow the universal rule set of darts? Is my question. Do you know who Wooly Versus is? I don't know who Wooly. I feel like I've heard the name before, but I'm not entirely certain. Who is that? Is that a YouTuber, or is it somebody who's a frequent chatter? I feel like that name's ringing a bell to some extent, but I don't know. Like I said, man, this MMA YouTube iceberg is so deep at this point. It's very hard keeping up with everyone. I usually try and retain my very limited mental capacities for remembering the people that are in my community. As I get older, my bowling game is starting to get magical, though. I used to play a little bit of bowling when I was a kid, but I was pretty shit at that as well. It was more of like a, like a passing sort of odd time. We'd go every once or twice a year. How we doing, Jay Z? What's good, brother? Did you get a chance to watch the MMA Guru's video with Paddy yet? I still haven't managed to watch it. Mid is like a 24 darts leg, which is not bad at all. So that would be like I think like a 9 darter is the quickest you can get out of there. Yeah, so I'm assuming 24 would be pretty good. I think it gets tough when you start. It's fine scoring, but like when you're kind of like when you're expected to check out, that's when it gets really hard. That's when it gets really hard. But you can hone your game where you can score fairly highly, but it's those checkout situations that where the level really gets tough. You know, I want to do more bowling 100%. I need to do more stuff outside, to be honest. My kid's getting to that age now. I need to start doing stuff like that with him. I took him to another mixed martial arts lesson yesterday. It did not go well. He refused to let go of his transformer and then ran around trying to kick people. So I was kind of proud as well. I mean, it was a proud moment, but it was also quite embarrassing. Tried to kick his teacher and that it was a wild one. I might have introduced him to the game a little bit early or not early enough. Depends on your interpretation of that situation. I haven't watched Guru's video. Guess I'm out of the loop. Yeah, so he went live. So he's been talking about the Paddy interview for a while, and there were some insinuations that they had some kind of argument, and then he obviously went live earlier on today, and I only noticed the Paddy video situation because I think in the description he mentioned that he was going to be dropping the video right after the live, and I guess he did. And when I popped into ITP before I came on here, he was literally watching through the video. So yeah. Did you get the fishing poles yet, Mafest? I haven't yet. I'm planning on sorting that out this week. Um, and we're trying to look up some spots where I can take him. But I'm definitely going to take him on that trip this summer. I mean, he's probably going to try and jump in and bloody kick the fish, knowing my boy. But we'll give it a try. We'll give it a try. I'm a little bit nervous with him in water because he's got no fear. So at least he's kicking. That's halfway to being. He's been leg kicking me for ages. Like he sometimes shouts things like he doesn't say leg kick like because I used to he came in once to watch a fight with me, and he actually came in when Leon head kicked Kamaru ages ago, and he occasionally he'll kick me in the leg and shout out head kick Teo, and I tried many times to correct him and say no son, it's KO, but he goes nah, it's Teo, and then just kicks the shit out of my leg. And he's getting to the age now, yeah, where that shit's starting to bruise. So it is what it is. Drunken boxing, how you doing, my man? Can he swim? He's all right. He's all right at swimming. But he's only just turning 4 in August, so it's a bit. I'm nervous, and I'm a decent swimmer, but if we were in like a riptide situation or whatever, I'd be nervous in that. So, bro, I feel like our lives are rather similar, except I'm a good-looking Aussie Chad, and you're a soft soy Englishman. Yeah, well, when you're right, you're right. I've got no defense for that. So we're basically the same. Because a soft soy Englishman is basically on the same level as a good-looking Aussie Chad. So I can see where you made that comparison. And thanks for stopping by. Our City Life project, I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, finally cracked 800. I'm over the moon, and the videos have been doing pretty well lately. Thanks a lot for commenting on them as well. And again, if you're somebody who basically, City Life Project, I've got to give you a shout out. If you want somebody who's literally, I thought I was an MMA addict. This guy's on another level, watches every single card, breaks them down, live streams for all of them, does really good breakdowns as well. So if you're a dude who is into that kind of thing where you want somebody to watch it along with and also give you fucking sage betting advice, get your bollocks over to the City Life Project. He's an absolute G in the game. I've got a few ugly sticks for my kids. Ugly sticks? Can you share this knowledge and help me to incorporate that into my life? That would be brilliant. Use code words. Say basement when you want him to leg kick. That's not a bad idea. I feel like the horses bolted from the barn, if you know what I'm saying, with that shit. I really feel like it has. It's kind of cute after the fact that he says Teo and not KO, so I'm kind of letting it slide. Yeah, I know you're taking the piss, drunken box, and it's good to have you here, my man. And obviously, it's great to have fucking Big City up in here as well. I only became aware of your channel, like I said, about a week ago. But yeah, man, I've been tuning in since then, and it's great stuff. It's great stuff. I appreciate somebody who has the off the fly knowledge to be able to break down a card. And I'm talking about every card out there. Like everything that's going on, the City Life Project is all over that shit. And I appreciate having somebody out there who's willing to put that kind of grind in, because I'm fucking too lazy to do it and not as knowledgeable. So I got a head like a dropped pie. That's all right. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's like when dudes cry over having a tiny dick. It's like you didn't grow it yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's like wear that shit with wear that like a badge of honor. Do it and do the best you can. So that's what I say. Ugly sticks equals fishing poles. I gotcha, man. But no, I'm definitely down on doing stuff. I think the fishing thing might be a good thing for him, but I just need to make sure I pick the right environment because, like I said, he's fucking wild. I wonder how that happened. Coming out of my balls must have had something to do with it. Yeah, City Life's the guy. City Life is the guy. And obviously, if you haven't already, I assume most of you have, but make sure you subscribe to Making a Walk MMA as well, my partner in crime. Most of the videos you see me on, if you see me and a dude next to me in the window, that's Making a Walk MMA. Most of you know that already. But we're basically trying to make a few waves around here. So definitely subscribe to Making a Walk MMA as well. How you doing, Machua? Machua, thanks for popping by on that stream earlier with Rambling Dad as well. That was a good one. It was very insightful. I tried to drop a link into the Discord earlier, but I think I must have caught everyone at a bad time. It was an interesting. There was that fighter on there who was from EFC, who I didn't realize had been flatlined in his last fight, and Machua provided the video evidence for that shit. I would have asked him different questions, really. But no, it was an interesting stream as well. It's a shame that some of you missed it. Everyone feels you, Mason. You're a fucking menace out here. How you doing, Anakin, brother? Good to have you back. Good to have you back. I'm not going to say it. I'm tempted to say that corny line every time you turn up, and the words get stuck in my throat as I'm about to say it. You know what line I'm talking about. If I do end up saying it at some point, you're going to know I've sunk to a next fucking low. My favorite Skywalker. Pantoja versus Tyra. Wow. I am quite surprised. I'm mildly surprised that that's been made. Mildly. I'm assuming... My thoughts on that one is I'm guessing that they didn't want to bring Asakura in straight from Ryzen and give him a title shot because it wouldn't look too good for the organization. Or they're hoping that maybe they tried to do it and the timing didn't work out. I don't know if they give Asakura another fight though. I think what's going to happen is they do Pantoja and Tyra, and they maybe hope that Tyra gets to win and then set those two up to fight. That could be a way to go. I don't know. You get two Japanese guys, you're definitely guaranteed to get a Japanese winner. Unless they fucking draw. Wagwan brethren, big up the things, still fam. I don't know why I knew to do it in that voice, but I just knew. How you doing? How you doing Saturday? Good to have you here, brother. Hope everything's well in your neck of the woods. Thank you for posting, Frankie. Shadrock Nasua had a great take about South Africa and its views about Drickus, the African giant. To be fair, yeah, he was very, very neutral. He rode that fence like an absolute G, to be honest. I thought it was a very reasonable take. Very reasonable. I thought he rode that line very, very well. And I was personally I thought it was very, very insightful. I was expecting him to cook, but he didn't. He was very, very reasonable, and yeah, I thought it was a very, very balanced perspective, which you don't often say. A BJJ female black belt choking me out would be my dream. That's all our dreams, mate. It's on my list of ways to go. It's like death by cop, triangle choke by or triangle leg lock by Baby Shark. That's up there for me. That's how I want to go. Is that what we're going to get to now? Ways we want to die in this chat. I mean, we've talked about everything else. We might as well go there as well. Sorry, I'm late. I just don't give a fuck. How you doing, Paradox? I'm really good Saturday. Yeah, I had a bit of a wild day, but it's all good. I'm here now. Tyra wins, make a Japan card and put him against a new Japanese fighter. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like I said, we're doing that merging thing again, Jay-Z. It's like you and I are one. No Jones. No Jones. Tyra, I think, will be a future champ. I agree with you, Anakin. I'm not sure if he's going to beat Pantoja on this occasion. It might be a little bit too soon for him, especially with the way that he strikes, but I can see him getting a belt at some point. I think it's coming. Paddy gets the job done, I agree. I reckon so as well. I reckon he's going to beat Booby Green. I'm not calling him king. Fuck that. I don't call any man king. Yo, Chimaev deserves a title shot. Change my mind. I'm going to let the chat cook on that one. I shouldn't have even put that as part. Like, I disrespected my entire channel even putting that in my fucking description. That cunt doesn't deserve a title shot. You joking? He's lucky if he gets a goddamn fight at this point. The bitch. I got hot really quickly there. I don't know what happened. I'm not going to bet on Paddy though. I'm going to put some major money on that night for sure. Larry in the building. How you doing, Larry? Mo, fuck you, bro. Don't come with that. Don't come with that Hamzat Chimaev nonsense. Mackenzie Dern can mount me and cross choke me while I'm wearing my favorite jacket. Yeah, Mackenzie Dern, I could take or leave it. If she put a fucking brown bag on her head, then maybe we can talk. Did you enjoy my video part? Yeah, fucking beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, it's wonderful. I'm looking forward to seeing how we can slot it in. That was 1 minute of insanity. I'll put it that way. King, what a crunk. Yeah, he's an absolute twonk, isn't he? I wonder if the I bet the announced team are gonna call him King. It's gross. No, I'm not doing that. Fuck that guy. Scamzak Kryptaev. Yeah, that's gonna follow him around for the rest of his life. It will probably be Asakura versus Roy Val, to be fair. Yeah, I mean they could do that. It's a risky one though, because Roy Val is dangerous, and I wouldn't be against picking Roy Val in that fight. I really wouldn't. I think it's more likely that they do the they hope that Tyra wins, or even if he loses, and then they stick Asakura in there. But it's a risky one. It's a risky one. Y'all are too horny, dear God. Hey, Aaron, you know what it's like around here. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I didn't start it. Did I start it? I didn't start it. I'm like 50% sure I didn't start it. By the way, Paul Perry bets are live. I saw that. I actually put my parlay on this morning. You were right about that. I thought they weren't taking bets on the fight at all, but I managed to get over there and stick one on. I've got a 4-fight parlay going for this weekend because I don't really count the Jake Paul one as a bet prop. So no, I don't think Royval is the second best flyweight. I still think it's Moreno. I know Royval beat him, but I think Moreno's just been, he's a bit too war battered. I still think he's the most well-rounded flyweight. That's just my feelings on that. Watch Hamzat fight Paulo Costa in October. That's the fight that they need to make. Him calling for a title shot is fucking delusional. I don't know where he got that idea from. It's like I pulled out of a fight, I scammed all my fans. Now I deserve a title shot. Yeah, mate, that doesn't quite work like that. It doesn't quite work like that. Again, I'll be surprised if he fights this year. He has a trouble beating the common cold, to be honest, or a dodgy, or a dodgy steak by the sounds of it. Royval is a tricky customer. He really is. He really is. Royval is one of those guys that on his day he can beat anyone. So putting him in there with Asakura is risky. But the thing is, yeah, they're gonna have to do something with Asakura. And thrusting him straight into a title shot, as popular as he is gonna raise a few eyebrows. It's gonna piss some people off. I know he's got a name, but I don't see it. I don't see it. Ivan Urslan got signed to the UFC. Which weight class is he going to operate in? I'd be interested to know. What do you guys think of John Silver having a top 15 guy next? He said in an interview, I think it's either going to be Lopez, Ige, or Barbosa. I really like the Ige fight. If they stick that on the Sphere, my balls will be tingling 100%. I'm fully on board the John Silver train. I'm fully on board. I would definitely like to see him get a top 15. He is legitimately amazing. Very technical, very accurate, bit of a Chad. I'm just trying to figure out what weight class he should operate on. I'd rather he goes back to featherweight and fights Ige. So he's at light heavyweight. Okay, I was wondering if he might have a crack at heavyweight, being that the UFC heavyweight division is ass cheeks. Jean versus Bryce. That would be very bad for Bryce. They can't do that to Bryce now. Bryce would get fucking ripped to fucking shredderoonies. Let me quickly pin that Discord link. Hang on, let me see if I can get the... Please do join our Discord. We are growing ever so beautifully. Let me make sure my sound isn't on. Let me pin that Discord link. We've got a few numbnuts in our Discord now. We need to even things out with some reasonable people. Would you rather have $50,000 or 10K subs? It's a hard question to ask, man, because you know what? Yeah, subs don't really mean that much if they're not active. I'm lucky in that I've got very few subscribers, but I regularly get between 20 and 30 in here. So I'd rather have that. I'm not really too worried about it's pointless having 20,000 subscribers, 50,000 subscribers if they're not active. If they're not watching your videos and they're not in your lives, there's no fucking point. So I'd probably take the 50K and just go mad on the hookers and cocaine for a weekend. It's probably where I'd go. So yeah, do join the Discord. I'd appreciate it, lads. Give Hamzat a real wolf like Bo Nickel, USA in this hoe. I don't know who I'd pick in that fight, and that says a lot. 59K and we all good. Silver is a dog. I absolutely love Silver. And 45 does need some new... 45's in a little bit of a mess at the moment. And I think he could definitely break that top 5. And there's so many good matchups you could put in that guy. I think he would tear through featherweight. Obviously, we don't know enough about him yet to know if he would fuck with the upper echelon, but yeah. And I like that gym is producing some absolute fucking killers right now. Roofy's amazing as well. I think somebody's just brought him up. MMA Joey said he's sleeping you on site. What, Snorlax style, yeah? Get the fuck out of here. I would love MMA Joey to say that. But that's exactly what my channel needs. A call out from that fucking walking potato. Let's have Darius Flowers versus Roofy. Yeah, we might as well get the execution job over. Darius Flowers being in the UFC, I don't know who he sucked off to get that contract, but it must have been a good one because he's fucking terrible. I've never seen somebody fall over multiple times in the middle of a fight without anybody touching you. Shit was bizarre. He's fucking terrible. So yeah, let's just kill him off once and for all. I'm really warming up to Jin Silva versus Rafi. That would be a great fight. That would be a killer fight. I assume that Fiziev will not be that interested in that at this juncture because he's dangerous, and I wouldn't want to. The thing is, if you're going to fight somebody dangerous, it's not the smartest decision to fight somebody who's dangerous and very much and not even ranked. Jean Silva's going to find it hard to get fucking matchups after that slaughter he just put on. I honestly think old Bryce is done. I was very high on Bryce Mitchell for a while, but his career died when Bryce Mitchell when Josh Emmett almost killed him in there. And I bet on Josh Emmett, so I made out like a bandit. Jax, thanks for picking up the slack with the links. I'm in and out. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. I remember Flowers blocking everyone on Twitter because they said he wasn't UFC level. I feel bad for him now. Yeah, it's a hard life, but it's true. The truth hurts. The truth definitely hurts. I mean, like I said, he couldn't even get to the fucking cage without puffing out. He is not UFC level. Yeah, that showboating stuff was genuinely embarrassing. It was genuinely embarrassing. I think he gassed out more showboating than he did actually fighting. It kind of looked bad on was it Evan Elder he was fighting? It looked bad on him that he couldn't KO him in that first round because he was there to get slapped. Chat is in flow state. I love it when it's like this. I'm always a little bit worried though because I'm trying to obviously keep up with things. But who we got in S tier for MMA YouTubers? Boy, this is definitely a preference thing. Like I'm loving Brutally right now. I think he's somebody that I really enjoy watching. It depends what you're looking for. It depends what category you're talking about. Like, it's a tough one, man. It's a real tough one. Mixed Muddy Whoppery is one of my favorites. I haven't watched too much of his videos lately, but he's incredible at what he does for sure. The storytelling that guy is capable of is fucking amazing. What's good, I9's my G? Good to have you here, man. Armenian in this bitch. Who's Armenian in this bitch? Can you raise your hand, sir, so we can give you a shout out? Paradox, are you S tier? You S tier yet? I don't want to say you're S tier, so you stop working on the game. I was surprised Doba didn't retire. He's a real one for not quitting. Doba is Doba's a good one because like he's guaranteed to have banger fights and he knows he's going to get nowhere near a title. So you can always put him in there and expect a slobber knocker. He's one of those guys that you guarantee you put him on a card with somebody who's going to throw down. It's going to be fireworks. So he's always going to have a place. I don't really watch bedtime MMA, you know. And not because I think he's shit or anything. I just don't. There's so many guys that I watch that are like, you know, part of our community. And you know what it's like kind of getting through the day when you've got like, you know, like when you it's tough, but I'm subscribed to him. I'm subscribed to him. I think having bloody Kevin Lee as your avatar makes you goated enough just for that. Fight Figures doesn't post much, but he has incredible videos. Let's check this dude out. Fight Figures. All right, let's subscribe to him and give him a try. Oh, like I said, I'm always about embracing the community, man. There's so many good. Do you watch Kenny Okoye? I fucking can't stand that dude anymore. I used to follow him on Twitter. The dude is brain dead. Like, the dude is brain dead. I can't stand Kenny Okoye anymore. I tried to like unfollow him on Twitter, and I still get his stupid posts popping up every now and then. It's annoying. Doesn't bedtime train and shit. I have no idea. He's definitely somebody that I need to give more attention to because, you know, he is somebody who's obviously accelerated really well for a reason. So I definitely need to give his videos more attention. And bedtime is funny. Paradox linked me to his channel. Hysterical. Yeah, he popped up on my radar a while ago. How you doing, Hank the Tank? Shout out to Hank the Tank and his channel. Another growing YouTuber who's doing very, very well. So get your asses over to Hank the Tank. Thoughts on Boogie faking cancer? I mean, it's obviously fucking scummy, isn't it? I kind of had a feeling it was the case, to be honest. There was never any receipts. It's obviously the scummiest thing to do. I don't know if it's been confirmed that he doesn't have. I mean, pretty obviously he doesn't, but his inability to show receipts when he's pretty much put everything else out there is a bit troubling to me. The thing is that I'm all about keeping privacy and stuff. But if you're asking money for something, you kind of have to show them receipts. So yeah, he's a scumbag. And I mean, the guy's insufferable, but I kind of feel sorry for him in a little bit of a way. He's clearly a bit dumb, and I don't know. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not really too invested in that shit. Kenny is leaning too far into his gimmick. He lost me with that. I don't think it's a gimmick, bro. I don't think it's a gimmick. I think that's what he really thinks. I thought he was trolling, and I was like, respect. Like his Adesanya glazing and his Alex Pereira hate, and he's a very big Islam glazer as well. He literally said that Islam would beat up if Islam went up to 205, he would beat the fuck out of Alex Pereira. I was done then. I was done with that guy. I think he just genuinely is retarded. Bedtime competes in Muay Thai. Really? It's always good getting that kind of perspective when you see somebody who's actually, competing. I've been seeing some retards saying Burns versus GDM was a fluke KO. Nah, JDM wore it. I'm not. The thing is, yeah, Burns did very well in that fight. He did better than a lot of people expected, and I had him winning going into the third round. But JDM was that body work that JDM puts in. It takes his toll, and I think he just, I think he wore him out, and he rightfully finished him off. Like it was going there. Really, I'd still smash Bedtime. Smash in what way, sir? Can you be more specific? Actually, maybe don't be too specific. Burns versus JDM hurt my wallet. Did you bet on Burns? That's not like you. What do you think of people saying the Josh Fan stoppage was early? Nah, man. Do you know what? Yeah, he was still with it, but when you drop like that and the back of your head collides off the mat like that, that's when it's time to call it a day. I don't have an issue with the stoppage whatsoever. Once that head hits the back of the canvas, it's curtains. They have to kind of jump in at that point. Big Hank, just ignore him. Let's focus. Yeah, I say the same thing that I say to most people in here. If there's somebody in the chat that you're kind of bothered by, just block him or ignore him. Hank the Tank. I had Guru's info before anyone else and didn't leak it like Rigo. Keep coping. Oh, okay. Almost got caught out with that one. But yeah, I say the same thing to anyone in here. There's obviously some people who aren't going to get along, but just I guess I've got nothing else to add to that. I'm not going to get in the way of anybody's beefs. If you're going to use this place as a platform to do it, then whatever. I think he's partly trolling nowadays. Who's partly trolling? I've picked JDM to win since his Contender Series fight. Crazy to see how far he's went. Yeah, I think JDM is really, really good, but he's gonna run into a few difficulties. I think I want to see him and Gary fight. Aaron Tats and I have been calling for that since well, feels like forever now. I want to see that man make Gary shit his fucking self out for a week. I'd love to see that. Smashing the bedroom. I was just clarifying, bro. I was just clarifying. Fair play. Has it? But nobody's ever seen Bedtime MMA. Are you sure that's that kind of that he's your kind of sausage? Do you know what I mean? Or is it the voice that gets you going? I don't know. Oh, Kenny. Nah, he's not, bro. I followed Kenny for quite a bit. He's not joking. This isn't a troll job. He's retarded. And seeing him go one-on-one with Lucas Tracy confirmed that to me. He literally shouted for 20 minutes, "You're coping, you're glazing," and then made no real counterpoints that made any sense. And then of course you had his little bum sniffers in the chat going, "Yeah, man, yeah, Kenny 10-7." I'm like, "No, man, you didn't really say anything." I mean, if you're getting cooked by Lucas Tracy, who's going off the cuff, it says it all. That guy is not joking. Yeah, I've never seen a glazing of that level. I've never seen a glazing of that level. Like he has a stomach full of fucking Izzy cum, to be fair. Yeah, he's the thing is, yeah, I don't mind somebody being biased, but he then when he gets called out for it, he goes on like, nah, bro, like I'm just speaking facts. He doesn't understand that like his takes are very, very cringy. Oh, email, man. I'm not saying I've got friends, a friend that's Nigerian. I'm not saying that. Um, Werner on ugly paper should win, but Lemos is bigger. I'm very, very surprised that Lemos is the underdog. I might have to put a little bit of scratch on that because I think in 5 rounds. The thing is though, Lemos is kind of dumb. I didn't like her in the I didn't like her in the Mackenzie Dern fight. I thought she had her on a platter, like she was battering her and then started messing about. I don't like that. So she's either too arrogant or too dumb. So she makes me nervous. But at underdog, eh. Kenny is it's a guy called Kenny Okoji. He's on he has a YouTube channel and he's on Twitter. He's a Nigerian Izzy Glazer, basically. He went on Lucas Tracy like a little while ago and did like a debate with him, but really all he did was just shout "You're coping," and that was basically it. That was basically the soundbite. It was 20 minutes of him screaming "You're coping." That's pretty much all I got out of the situation. I'd say go and check him out, but you really shouldn't. He'll just annoy you. He's exceptionally annoying. Kenny and MMA Joey are delusional. I'll be honest here, I don't watch MMA Joey really. I saw like a couple of his videos. Like I saw his 12 next, and I was just like, this isn't somebody that I want to take fight advice from, and just checked out immediately. So that's how I feel about MMA Joey. Plus, he's insufferable. I see his take sometime on. He's very, very, very firmly on the in the Dagestani camp. And even when he has every reason to talk against them, he doesn't, and that's a concern to me. It's like there's got to be a point where you're like, do you know what, fair's fair, and he's not that guy. Um, I'm not saying that either, Melson, but it's probably not your fault. The Jalen Turner, that's a he looks like Jalen Turner if you locked him in like a basement for like 2 weeks, or a Jalen Turner that did a water fast for like a month. The guy, yeah. Let's just say he hasn't filled out yet. I hate having to pick her, but I think she gets at least 3 rounds. I'm with you on that as well. I thought it was a 50-50 and Lemos being I didn't even think it was a 50-50. I thought Lemos would be a slight favorite. And the fact that she's the underdog, we've got to, that's action that I might take. I don't really bet on women though, because I hate them. You know what I'm saying? Fight IQ from Lemos is not there, brother. The fight IQ from Lemos is not there. Lemon is a good way of putting it. Lemon is exactly for MMA Joey was roasting James Lynch. Yeah, I don't really know much about that beef. I know that they were going back and forth, but I didn't really get into it because MMA YouTube beef is fucking tarded. I'm surprised that James Lynch got involved in that shit, if I'm being honest. I'm surprised that he lowered himself to that level because he doesn't seem like that kind of guy. But I guess if you get that's an audience that you can farm, I guess. I don't know. For me, it's just not worth it. We got to get Frankie to 1K, boys. We're definitely getting we're getting slow steps in the right direction for sure. Like I feel like a little bit more relaxed now that we've cracked 800. It feels a little bit better, I got to say. But that is the magic number. I feel like I could. I think once I get to 1K, I'm never gonna tell anyone to fucking subscribe to this channel again. I think I would have feel like I've peaked at this point because anyone I've spoken to who's got to 1K is like, yeah, once you get there, you're like, and you don't really care about the next landmark. It's just all good. Having that 1K would definitely be fucking sweet. Turner is such a letdown. I called Turner from the beginning. I kind of knew. I've picked against him quite a few times. The only I picked against him against Renato and got absolutely destroyed for it. Um, but I've just been having a good year. Follow your boy. Face first into Werner's cooch or put a lighter to your eyebrow. I'll take the cooch. I'll take the cooch. Let's be real. We're men. We're men. I don't want to say I've smashed worse, but you know what I'm saying? I may or may not have. We all have. Come on. We all have. Let's not bullshit. Joey loves beef of many varieties, I imagine. The fat cunt. I'm sorry, I need to stop this. I'm saying MMA YouTube beef is stupid, and then I say off-brand shit like that. It's just true. Every video I watch from James Lynch, he yells. I like James Lynch, but I think he's been getting too much involved with the like MMA creator stuff recently, which is not really his brand. It's not really what brought him to the dance, and I think it's eyebrows grow back. That's a good point. That's a good point. And the memory of her cooch in your face probably will never die. But anyway, bet on these hoes. We support women's MMA more than the world supports WNBA. Let's keep this. Do you know what? You've got a fair point. We do need to show them some love because nobody else will. Stamp and Dudakova. Yeah, that is those are highlight. Stamp's probably my favorite female fighter in both aspects. I find her very cute. I can't really explain it. I know she's not conventionally gorgeous, but she does it for me, man. What can I say? Turner should make the move for welterweight. He should have made the move to welterweight ages ago. But I don't know who you match him with because we were looking through the welterweight rankings as well. Because when Jalen Turner lost to Renato Moicano, we had this very, very same conversation. And it's like, you look through those welterweight rankings and you're like, what do I do? Like, I just don't think Jalen Turner's that good, to be honest. I know we shit on our women's fighters, but don't forget, they now wearing makeup. Half the bitches we adore outside of MMA wear makeup. I mean, it's a reason to jump on board, I guess. So is this the first time you're coming out, Email? Nothing wrong with being homosexual. I've been accused of that multiple times, and I found it very, very hard to deny it, to be honest. There's at least like, I'm gonna say 3 hours of collective footage of me saying that stuff that is definitely zesty to borderline fully homosexual. So I feel like I've lost my own case at this point. I kind of outed myself a bunch of times. Werner makes my stomach upset. Yeah. I feel that. How you doing, musical? Imagine you're a small channel and your fans ask James Lynch about your channel, and James Lynch says, if anyone mentions bad MMA math again in my chat, I'll permanently ban you. James Lynch did that. The thing is, bro, I'm gonna be real, yeah. I'm not really a big advocate for I feel I don't want to insult anyone in here because I know that people have shouted me out on channels before. And obviously I appreciate it because it helped me to get to where I am, but I'm not really a big advocate for it. I find it kind of cringe. If somebody casually mentions, "Oh yes, there's this guy you can check out," that's a different thing. But when people are spamming shit in the chat saying like head over here, I don't like that. I don't like people jumping up in people's live streams and basically trying to hijack it to get people over here. I don't want to be known for that kind of shit at all. I'd rather not grow at all than be part of that, to be perfectly honest. So that's my take on that one. But nah. If he did say that, if it did happen, it was probably warranted. To me, there's clear levels in lightweight. Yeah, Jalen Turner definitely doesn't have a future at lightweight. It's already been proven. For sure. Yeah, man, you need to sort out the gate. I swear to God, bro, it's not deliberate. It's not. What's very troubling about it is it just kind of happens. That's the issue. It's not contrived. With these these goddamn lives, man, shit comes out that you can't really expect. You're filling a lot of airtime. Stuff comes out, and a lot of it just happens to be zesty. I can't seem to help myself. I'm fine with James Lynch, but he seems like he gets annoyed way too easily. Yeah, I like James Lynch. I mean, I don't watch too much of his stuff, but you know, it's I've just noticed. I guess I've been noticing him more because again, he is popping up in the whole MMA YouTuber beef scene and like the stuff with what's that cunt on Twitter again that he had that interview with Ruben Carter. There was that, and then there's now the MMA Joey thing. It's like he's definitely taken himself in a direction that I don't necessarily approve of. I'm not big on the whole YouTuber beef because there's too many immature people that kind of end up spamming you, and it all gets a bit dark. There's doxing, there's calling out people. Like, it just seems a bit fucking tarded to me, and I can't be bothered with it, to be honest. Unless somebody starts fucking with me, I'm gonna leave it alone. Like, to be honest, if somebody starts fucking with me, that's a different story. I can roll around in the mud as well as anybody. Cross-eyed Jandaroba gonna get TKO'd. Could happen. Sub to Musical MMA, definitely do that. Great community over there. Really good videos. He's another YouTuber that I consider very very entertaining and worth watching, worth looking out for. No, nah, Lynch is a straight up Nancy boy soy batty man, in my opinion. Well, if that's how you feel, bro. Like I said, I haven't watched too much of him. I know that he's a close friend of Antoine's. I haven't had too many interactions with him, but yeah, I don't know. Somebody should ban fake Melson. We try not to do that in here if we can avoid it. Frankie, your euphemisms are always free. Always? That's a bit harsh. Sometimes is fairer. And it leads towards these conversations. I swear to God, I'm not doing it on purpose. Sometimes the comments lead to the zesty. Sometimes the comments in the chat lead to the zesty reactions as well. So I'm not entirely to blame. I'm definitely partially to blame. Who are all the YouTubers in this community? I only know Making the Walk and Paradox right now. No Chill MMA is somebody you need to get over to. The youngest looking old man I've ever seen and a lot of fun. Musical MMA as well is somebody who's deeply embedded in the community. And again, offers something a little bit different. That's kind of what I look out for with my MMA YouTubers now. Not somebody who's really good, but is original and entertaining. Keeps it fresh. And musical MMA is somebody that I definitely shout out for that. Sorry, I may have missed a few. Keep that Colgate smile, Lynch. I guess if you're going to get dissed over something, it might as well be for having impeccably white teeth. If James wants to be respected as a journalist, he should have no care what MMA. That's the thing. That's the point about these silly little beefs. It's going to lead to like short-term success, but then ultimately, it's going to like your entire channel is going to end up fucked. Hoops. Jaden Turner still has a future. Long, lanky. Yeah, he doesn't have a future at 155. He ran into that buzzsaw with Renato. Man, I called that fight. Like I said, Jalen Turner's lost too many times now. He needs to rethink his entire career. And sub to Nocho as well. Thanks for offering the link to that one, bro. Appreciate that. He's somebody who's growing exponentially as well. And very fun channel. Very similar branding to this channel. Just, no holds barred, fucking anything goes, I guess. I'm almost fully grey. There's the Guru verse, and then there's MMA YouTube. Yeah, the Guru verse is just clip channels, right? Yeah, I think so. He has a lot of clip channels. We've talked about clip channels in the past. Like some people in the space have. I used to really detest clip channels, even up until recently. But I can see why they have a prominent importance in the space as well. So as long as things are like I said, given some originality to them, I'm kind of all for it. I'm looking forward to the Korean Superboy and Steve Garcia on Saturday. Yeah, that's one of the very few fights we got on this card. Korean Superboy is a little. I think I've bet against Korean Superboy actually. I may have. I can't remember exactly what parlay I put on, but he's just a bit chinny for me. Very very fun to watch though, but just a bit chinny. Korean parlay. Who's coming with me? I am gonna bet on Iron Turtle. I think I've put Iron Turtle in there. I like him in that fight. But outside of him, I don't really like it for the other Korean dudes. I think they're both going to get slept, to be honest. UFC pay-per-views often stink. They definitely have this year. I mean, 300, I liked 301, but a lot of people didn't agree with me. I enjoyed that card. 300 was obviously good, but there was a lot of stale shit in between. But 304 should be fire, though. I'm really looking forward to 304. I don't think they could have stacked it any better than they did, considering where it is. So hopefully, but it's been a very up and down year, and mostly down. Guru versus basically just MMA guru culture influence. Yeah, pretty much. And it spreads very, very far. The lore there is, I mean, I assume people have made videos on it, but it runs deep and messy as well. I think Doohoo Choi is going to lose, but he's fun to watch. Yeah, I have the same opinion. I just think it's the chin that I worry about. So Brad Tavares is out. Shit. That would annoy me because then they won't give me my parlay back. It might work out. Hopefully that's not the case. I like Iron Turtle in that fight if it does continue. Also sub to Skate Tank MMA 100%. I just about missed I think you did a live yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. And I just about missed it. So I'm going to try. I thought you were going on Friday, so I was looking out for it then, but you're definitely going to see me there when it pops up. UFC 301 ruled. I love that card. The Aldo fight in particular. I've been saying this for a long time now. If you just make sure that you've got a really good co-main and main, and you just sprinkle a couple of decent matchups in between, you can make for a good card. Because the thing is, yeah, it's like what happened last weekend, right? We had Rose, and as soon as we had Silva, as soon as Silva and Dober finished, we all just zonked off because we knew what was coming. Like I said, it's two old men, and then Rose can't have a good fight to save her life these days. So it is what it is. Like it was just, you need to have something to keep you going until the end of the card, or else people give up. And usually, if you have a good co-main and main, people tend to walk away from a card saying that it's good. Because I actually thought last week's card was decent, but again, not a lot of people agreed with me on that one. Thanks, brother. By the way, Paradox to Chad has told me he'd crank Verna's Brazilian crab trap so hard he puts her wonky eye back into place. That does sound like something Paradox would say, to be fair. Do you see how I've got no control over this chat? Like I'm not, this is not me. I'm not responsible for this behavior. Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown. I haven't seen that face off yet. Was it good? Now that I've seen them face off, I'm even more confident that Jake Paul's going to chin him in the third round. It's just how I see it. Chowing a ham sandwich right now. Hope the day's been good, man. It's been pretty good. I wouldn't say it's been one of my favorite days of all time. I wouldn't call it a goat day or anything, but it's been all right. It's been all right. I hope you're having a good day as well, my man. Yeah, Idaho and I are guaranteed to go live on Friday. I'm definitely going to be there. I think you're going on at like 9 o'clock or something, right? We usually go live on Friday, but it's usually very, very late. So I'm sure we won't be butting heads or anything. Yeah, these all sound like Paradox type sound bites, to be fair. Connor's pal, what kind of ham? Honey cured or fucking hell. But I'm finishing up a video for Skate Tank. I'm posting today or tomorrow. So yeah, look out for that one. Look out for Skate Tank's video dropping hopefully today or tomorrow. Rose fucked it out on Chinese Tracy. It wasn't a terrible fight, but it wasn't a great way to end the card. Knocking her fucking eyelash off just really put me off Tracy Cortez as well. Like I no longer think she's hot. That shit was gross. 298, 299, 300, and 303 were all good cards this year. 303 was... Yeah, 303 was a decent card. 303 was all right. For some reason, I had 302 flashing in my mind. 302 was fucking... I thought 301 was decent, man. Maybe it's because I was drunk and I was in Thailand at the time. That might have elevated the card slightly for me, but yeah, I'll quote from an old 70s film. Gotcha. Fight Night St. Louis was my favorite card of the year. I'm not even joking. I love that card. How we doing, Dougie's Corner? That's another brother you should subscribe to immediately. I assume you all have already. That's it. I'm gonna shape shift into musical. That's a unique guy right there. There's no shape shifting into that, brother. Lurking and working, boys. I appreciate you taking the time to stop by, Dougie. You fucking legend. Hello, I am definitely not Paradox. No, you're definitely not. You're definitely not. There could be several paradoxes in here, though, and we don't know it. Dougie's in this motherfucker for sure. Yeah, I was just mentioning that. Like, it's very, very, very hard to know where Paradox has seeped his little fucking stinky network into loads of places. I see you, Paradox. I see you out there. Connor's mum's a hoe. Why is she a hoe? What the fuck did she do? Other than give birth to that twonk. UFC St. Louis had a fighting nerd on it. Carlos Prato's fighting Nathaniel Wood at UFC 304. It's a tough fight. It's a tough fight for Nathaniel Wood. I do think he's slightly better, but it's a tough fight. That's a great fight to end the prelims. I mean, 304 is a banger. And do sub to Dougie's corner, lurking, working, and probably twerking. Yeah, for sure. You see, again, I didn't do it. It's not my fault. I'm crediting you for that one there, bro. Carlos makes me money consistently. Such a G. Yeah, he's been doing really well lately. He's definitely somebody who you could throw on there to make a decent. I'm not sure if I'm going to be betting him against Nathaniel Wood though. I don't love that one. That's the paradox of Paradox. You don't know who Paradox is, but you know he's a Chad. Exactly. That's a fairly well summarized take there. I'm secretly every single account on YouTube. I wouldn't be surprised if I've talked to you through like 60 different accounts. Musical City Life blocked me after I called him out for ignoring Rigo's boy loving antics for shout outs. Yeah, you've been consistently spreading that message, to be fair. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. That's exactly what I needed in my life. Fucking stummy wummy. I can't get that out of my can't get that out of my mind. Every time I see a situation where somebody lifts their shirt up, I'm like, stummy wummy. You're a fucking cunt for that, by the way. Jesus, man. That's gonna follow me around for life. Nah, email, you were spamming the N-word. I knew it. I knew you were guilty. When you find someone who loves MMA as much as you do, you hold them close and never let them go. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. I should definitely might have to get the t-shirt made for that one as well. Prates against Wood, aren't they in way different weights? Let me double check that. Maybe I've got the wrong dude. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. It is Prates versus. Oh no, it's Daniel Pineda. I'm talking bullshit. I've got the wrong dude. My bad. Yeah, it's which is actually not that hard a fight, to be fair. I think Wood should be fine. So has Prates been booked yet? What a pack of degenerates. Yeah. It is what it is in here, man. It is what it is in here, man. Rigo claims he's a teacher's assistant too, which makes it way worse. I'm gonna leave that there. I'm just gonna leave that dangling. I don't really have any more opinions on Rigo. I've said what I had to say about the guy. To be fair, yeah, I've said this before as well. I think Eagle MMA is way worse. That whole stummy wummy situation, he came across even worse somehow. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that there. I don't really want to talk about this bullshit anymore. But I may be forced to by the looks of the chat. Yeah, Li Jing Liang, that's what it is. Yeah. Oh, that's a tough fight for Li Jing Liang. That's a really tough fight for Li Jing Liang. I might slightly favor him though. I think Lee's good. I think he'll be all right. As always, thank you for the shout out, boys. You're very welcome, bro. You know how it goes in here. Email is annoying as fuck, but Rigo is an actual nonce. Weird stuff he says to teenagers. I don't really see him as noncy. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about this, and I'm backtracking immediately. I don't really think he's noncy from what I can tell. I just think he's a bully. I just think he's a bully. He tends to pick on a certain demographic. Haven't trusted Melson and the basement trolls for a while now. The thing is, yeah, Melson's more of a. I just think he's what do you call it? A troll, basically. I don't even mean that as an insult. Just a shit stirrer. I'm inclined to go that way sometimes myself on Twitter, so I'm not going to judge it. Poll in chat: who's telling the truth, Hank or Melson? All right. Could be the same person for all I know, but let's go. I'm joking, Hank. Wait, hang on a second. Before I do this, before I follow you like a fucking sheep, the truth about what? Whether Rigo's a fucking. Whether Rigo's a nonce or not, is that what we're talking about? Lee Jingalang Jangalang. I feel like I've just spat on my son's fucking ethnicity over that one. Guarantee my place is bigger than. I think Rigo is an actual crazy person. I don't think he's crazy. I just think he's an asshole. He's addicted to power. If that means to be a bit noncy, then he goes there. In my opinion, the thing is, yeah, I've seen various videos that it's obviously the stuff about him has been shared in the community. I haven't dug into it too deeply, but he's definitely a bully and a cunt. And his little fucking like what do you call it? His little soy boy Eagle MMA to me is somehow even worse. I fucking despise that little cunt as well. He came across way worse than that. Obviously, because he was the one on camera. Him talking to that. What's that guy's name again? I keep forgetting his name. The guy that he stummy wummied. Because somebody else sent me that video, and it was like when he refused to do it, he's like, "You've missed out on the biggest opportunity of your life." I just thought, wow, like that whole thing was just fucking scummy. How you doing, Rent Free? Yeah, the chat's going all over the place, but it is what it is. It eventually descends into fucking lunacy in here. Yeah, Melson, you definitely have a very strong agenda on the Rigo side of things. I mean, like I said, I haven't dug too far into that law, so I don't really, it is what it is. I'll do a stream in a bit, and yeah, I guess we're rating musical MMA later. And yeah, edgy is probably a way I would describe it. How you doing, Chris Gray? Good to see you here, brother. Rest in peace, Richard F. Yes, this is definitely gone to places that I'm not very good at reffing this kind of shit, to be honest. I'm much more comfortable being on one side of it than trying to ref this kind of shit. I don't judge, but it's not yeah, what Rigo did to Dylan was fucking insane. Who's Dylan again? Is Dylan the guy we're all talking about? You literally came at me for using EBT, and now you're saying you don't judge. Typical Rigo file. Yeah. Oh, so the ITP people are raiding it just the right moment that this place has descended into fucking chaos. Bad MMA math just stoked the fire, man. It's fun. Do you know what it is, musical? Yeah, part of it is as well. Yeah, is I'm relatively uninformed about this bullshit. I mean, I did get sent a few videos and whatnot, regarding some of the drama, but I'm not deep enough into it to give a fuck really. I don't really want to be stepping on all this bullshit because, like I said, I've kind of said what I've had to say about Rigo and his little butt buddy. I don't even know what everyone's side on this is. Like I know obviously kind of where email stands and where you stand on Rigo. Um, he just doesn't seem worth the time for me. Jake Paul by TKO in 6. I've got him sooner than that, rent free. I reckon he's gonna dunk him in the third. It's just a bit of banter. Yeah, it's fine, but it's just kind of like I said, it would be easier for me if I fully understood the whole law, and I'm not sure I'm willing to waste my time to get into it all because this goes back a long time from what I understand. This is like years and years of like MMA YouTube fucking, you know, it's a mess basically. So I don't know, man. I don't know if it's worth it. Absolutely unnecessary, pointless drama is my favorite activity. I can understand that. I can understand and respect that. I mean, it is part of MMA, let's be honest. So why shouldn't it be part of MMA YouTube? Emails. Oh, no, fuck it. I'm not saying that. Um, I have to hate. I have to hate things to make me feel like a normal human. Yeah. Frankie, does Mike look sauced up? His face is looking swollen as fuck. You mean Mike? You mean Mike? Mike Perry? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if he's gonna get sauced up, he might as well do it for this one because Jake is definitely doing it. If you're talking about Mike Perry, then I'd say probably yeah. He probably needs to juice up considering how many things are against him in this one. But if you're talking about what's his face, um, my mind's done a blank. Conor McGregor's little buddy. Then he's probably just been crying a lot. Just point and laugh at the forced drama like the rest of us. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this shit, to be honest. I'll summarize. Both have done sus things with minors and make alt accounts about each other. That's pretty much where we're at. That's the confusing thing about this thing because I don't know who the fuck is who at this point. And so many people are using alts on YouTube, man. It's very, very hard to keep up with all this shit. Mike Perry. Yeah. I'd say he's on the source. And he definitely should be. I would be. No one's getting fucking tested in that shit. It's interesting reading into people's psyche and analyzing people's way of navigating certain situations. I guess that's what it comes down to. It's just like I said, I'm a little bit misinformed on the whole thing. Like I've got my opinions about certain people based on what I've seen, and sometimes that's enough. It's like, you know, I've seen the kind of things that Rigo's been up to, and I've seen the things that Eagle MMA's been up to. Not that he's anywhere relevant or anything, but like, so I've already made my opinion on those people. Like they can do whatever they want from here on out, and I'm not going to think too fondly of them. But in terms of, is cruiserweight at 100? No, I think it's 200 pounds, Matua. I'm pretty sure. Definitely on that TRT, as he should be. As he should be. There's going to be no testing for this fight. That much is pretty fucking clear. Is there any potential we get a 165 division, you think? I think if it was going to happen, it would have happened already. I'd like to see it happen though. I think having 10 pounds in between weight classes is perfect. How's it going, ITP? You've literally turned up at the most rotten times. Like we're literally getting into the whole fucking Rigo thing again, and I'm lost, to be honest, mate. I'm fucking lost. But thanks for turning up, though, man. I appreciate it. It's like the Wild West in here right now. If it was gay and noncy. Retards claim I use alts, but it's literally just this and MMA Joey alt once in a while. Huh. I'm good, ITP. It's really good to have you here, man. Thanks for another raid, man. I really appreciate it. Very, very much appreciate it. I see the email and ITP have made up as well, which is nice. ITP coomed over tranny MMA in between ending his stream and joining here. Well, ITP is a well-known past coomer. By the way, I'd never even heard of that term before I jumped into your lives, by the way, ITP. I'd never heard of that. I didn't know what cooming was. I had to look it up. I feel like me what's obviously happened is me getting involved with you people has made me even more of a fucked up degenerate I was than what I was when I joined here, which is unfortunate, really, especially as I'm raising children and all that. You know, it's not great. Healthy blokes do it better. Remember this, lad. Chandler is naturally achievable, to be honest. Yeah, he is. He seems like somebody who works hard, for sure. I don't know if it's naturally achievable for everyone, but I didn't know what it was until I was accused of being one. I was. Fair play. Yeah, I'm still not entirely sure what it means, to be honest. I'm back, gang. How's it going? It's fuck. We've lost control in here, Weston. We've lost fucking control. It's like I feel like I've been asking for this though. Like I can't really get upset now because it's like it is what it is, man. I feel like we've been on the verge of something like this happening for a very, very long time now, and now we're just here. It's turned into an all out civil war in the chat. And I don't know how to. I'm completely stumped. Like usually I've got a lot to say. I've got a lot to fire back with, but I'm literally just like fucking hell. Like, what do I do here? Like I'm literally getting to the point where I'm reaching things where I'm like, I'm not reading that out. I didn't think that was ever going to happen here. Frank is explaining now. I'm doing my best, man. You can see I'm dying here. I'm dying over here. Who fucking started this? Was it you, Musical? It's a combination of Musical and email, I'm going to assume. Yeah, I'd love to ITP. That would be sick. We definitely got to do that sometime. I'm down. Just name a day and we'll work something out. You've got me on. I shot you a message on Discord yesterday, I think. So yeah, definitely shoot me back. I missed something. No, not what's the opposite of magical? See, this is why people fear Melson. He can just come in, and he's such a divisive figure that he just has to drop a few bars and then fucking. This is nothing. To be fair, yeah, I've been in your chat a couple of times where I've literally been like, I'm not even going to try and get a word in here. It's just out of control. It's out of fucking control. Wait, what the fuck did I start? Oh, I love how you play innocent, my man. I love how you play innocent. I'm like a berserker from Gears of War. That's one way of describing you. I'd probably mix it with something else as well. I don't think that fully covers what you're capable of. The full destruction and just you're like a channel destroyer is what you are. It's fucking horrendous. I figure I could wait for all this to peter out, but I don't think it's going to. I think we've just hit that point now where it's just it is what it is. I mean, I have to watch the stream back. I have no idea. I think it was Melson, to be fair, but I guess it doesn't matter now. I feel like Melson's on a mission. He's on a mission to try and destroy Rigo, but all he's doing is making him stronger. That's all it's doing. Frankie, what's the best Star Wars on paper? Then your favorite. Probably Empire Strikes Back is the best one. Return of the Jedi is probably my favorite, just because it's the first one I saw as a kid. So that's a nice one to slip in there, I guess. Not it's going to divert these fucking hyenas. As long as every stream isn't like this, it's funny time to time. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I feel like this is going to be a common. I feel like it's going to be a common trend now because as soon as Melson sees me online, he's just going to jump in and just start nuking the joint. Yeah, dude, Rigo's doing real good right now. Went from 120 live viewers last year to 60 tonight. 60 ain't too shabby though. Yeah, it's the no such thing as bad press thing. I mean, I think Rigo's probably overachieved in life to be. Why am I getting involved in this? You just keep dragging me back in. Damn, Rigo just hit 16K. Do you see what you're doing, Melson? You're making him grow stronger. Does email have a channel? I was not aware of that. I'm sure it would be very interesting if that turns out to be the case. Andor is the best thing from Star Wars. It proves you can create brilliant art with $1 billion. I couldn't get into it. Yeah, the original Star Wars movies. The original Star Wars movies were the only good ones, and Rogue One was quite good as well, from what I remember. But the I'm really desperately trying to turn. This is what I've sunk to. I'm so desperate to turn this chat into it, and I appreciate all of you for trying to do whatever it takes to try and knock the chat back on course. I appreciate that. But that's my take on it. I didn't really like the new free movies at all. I thought they were all corny as fuck. Email does have a channel. I guess we're checking now. Or not. Musical that explains the physique. Ugh. Just when I thought we were out, they pull me back in. Acolyte was embarrassing to watch. I haven't seen it. I saw the press from it and I knew it was going to be shit. When the director of it came out and started talking about the Force's female stuff, I just knew that was something I was never going to watch. And credit to you for trying to give it a go, but yeah. I'm staying the fuck away from that one. Is Cyborg the second best female fighter of all time? I would say it's debatable. It's debatable. I have Wei Li as my number 2 and Amanda Nunes as my number 1. So I would say no, but there's a strong case that can be made for Cyborg for sure. It's just the level of competition hasn't quite been good enough. Cyborg in a G-string sitting on the end of your bed. It's magical. Yeah. Thanks for that fucking mental image. What it do, boys? How you doing, Kloss? We've lost control, Kloss. We've lost control. Email's done it again. Liking Star Wars in 2024 is NPC behavior. I find it hard to disagree with that. It is shocking stuff now. I've considered it dead for years. Do you have a favorite Star Wars video game? Knights of the Old Republic would probably be my GOAT game, I would say. But it's not for everyone. Emails channel. Hang on a second. Why not? I mean, if I'm gonna have my chat fucking hijacked every week, I might as well get some. Oh yeah. Is that the same I'm very confused. Is that the same? This is what I'm saying. I don't know. Yep, email was struck again. He's absolutely nuked the fuck out of my channel. I thought this was gonna be a nice, calm, fucking Wednesday stream. And we've descended into this. I should have gone on yesterday. Did you say Battlefront 2? Did you say Battlefront 2, Phil? Did I just see that? Yeah, Nunes being number 1 is questionable as well. I feel like it's something you kind of got to say, though. Star Wars Battlefront 2. I swear that was arse. I can't remember. Star Wars is just boring now. Disney found a way to not be interesting. Yeah, I mean, they don't understand any of it. They just basically took the IP and just tried to milk as much money as they could from it. The Mandalorian fell off as well. The Mandalorian had potential, but it's fallen off as well. But Andor, I just couldn't get into. I might give it a second chance if you insist. True, Cyborg has fought a large share of substitute teachers and OnlyFans model rejects. That's the problem. Her CV has become very dank. So also the original Battlefront 2. Yeah. Oh, it was the remake that fucking stunk ass. Yeah. Get this lad to 1K subs. One day will it one year will eventually get there. I'm starting to believe more and more it's not going to be this year, to be honest. But I mean, now the emails ruined my YouTube channel. I guess it doesn't really matter anymore. Kloss, too many. I even have a Kloss alt. It wouldn't surprise me, bro. You are a menace to YouTube, Paradox. All right, Metro. I'll give it a second go. I watched like the first 2 episodes, and I must admit it does look fairly polished, and it doesn't look like the typical Star Wars trash we've been getting in the last decade or so. But I just couldn't get into it the first time. But I'll give it another go. Bro, they remade Battlefront 2. That's what I was thinking. The PS2 version on Xbox Series, it's only like $25. Is that the one that's like you have to basically like it's like pay boxes and all that kind of shit? I hate any game that does that. At Matcha, I use homemade goat milk soap and wear Lacoste cologne. Keep it up, old man. PS2 was based. PS2 was a good console. PS2 is probably the one game library that I've got very little on, though. I've probably got 10 PS2 games. Change the title to Rigo Hate Stream. Rigo the Boy Lover Exposed, please. Melson, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because then I'm just welcoming in this happening every time, and I have a feeling it's going to happen anyway. Yeah, having an all of you is probably kind of a flattering thing, though, right? I mean, it's fucking scary, but it's like it's flattering. There's a few people on Twitter who have bad MMA math alt accounts, which is pretty funny to me. I take it as a compliment. Yeah, that would be the teller class. They could have made just novel adaptations about the Old Republic, and people would have ate it up. And they're remaking Knights of the Old Republic as well, which I'm very nervous about because that game was amazing, and they can only fuck it up from here. Han Solo is the only good Star Wars character. Might have a point on that one, to be honest. Bad MMA math. What's your favorite PS2 game? Probably Final Fantasy X. Was that on PS2? I think it was Final Fantasy X. I love that game. It's hard on PS2, man. There's so many bangers, though. Could be one of the Metal Gear Solids. I don't know, there's a few. Tony Hawk games are amazing. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on PS2 was fucking amazing as well. Shadow of the Colossus is one of my GOAT games as well. Shadow of the Colossus is an amazing game. Oh, please don't flatter yourself. Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic was damn good. They cancelled it. That's for the best. That's definitely for the best. Yeah, I'm kind of like, I mean, you can see from the wall behind me, ITP. I've got a fair collection going. I don't really play games that often anymore, but I still got a fair collection going. But that's definitely something we can get into. I'm more into the classics now than I don't really like the new shit as much. But them canceling that is good news to me. I didn't want to see them do that. That game was perfect enough as it was. They didn't need to fuck. I know it was a bit janky in places, but yeah, Shadow of the Colossus is a beautiful game. It really is. One of my favorites. Oh, I've got Warriors. I've got a sealed copy of Warriors. Warriors is one of my favorite games as well. I've still got my sealed copy of that on PS2. That was a very underrated game. NFL Street 2 is fun. PS2 had like what? I don't know, thousands of games on it. Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus is one of those things that would make a great movie, but I wouldn't want it made now. They would fuck it up somehow. You know how they go. You know how that be. So many hours, so many hours of playing Hawk instead of skateboarding for real. That is a true story. I was never going to be the skateboarding type, but I'm not. I've never really been into skateboarding, but that game was amazing. So what time does next week? It starts at 11 p.m., bro. 11 p.m. It's going to be such a weird thing to pitch up at a live event at that time. So weird. I've been joking that I'm going to bring like my pillow and blankie along, and someone suggested in the chat that I should bring my onesie along. I think it was an ITP's chat. I might just do that for the banter. Yeah, it seemed like a banger PS2 game came out every week back then. It was a different time back then. And apparently it was a really good system to develop for as well. So that probably helped. But yeah, rent free, fucking 11 o'clock at night, man. It's wild. It is wild. Oh, Katamari Damacy was good. I remember playing that as a kid. I've got that on Switch. Is that the game where you roll and you basically pick up things as you're going along? I'm pretty sure that's the same one. I remember that was a lot of fun as well. You said the ones you think, of course it was you, Chris. I should have known. Hey, Drunken, have you ever had any serious injuries doing that? Or is that a stupid question? PS2 games in the early 2000s had a lot of secret evil protagonists. I'm trying to think of some. Rodney Mullins. Share it with your midget girlfriend. I will bring mine. I don't have a midget girlfriend. That was all you. I got called out by somebody in ITP's chat the other day for that shit, by the way. I'm known as the guy who was encouraging the midget smash or pass thing, and that was entirely your fault. I've been known as just that clown YouTuber who talks about fucking. I literally had somebody call me out in an ICP stream the other day. I think it was who the fuck was it again? And this guy's been going at me hard whenever I come into ITP's chat. And he's like, "Yeah, you're the midget. You're the smashing midgets guy." I'm like, "Am I? Am I? I mean, we talked about it. I didn't necessarily encourage it. I might have encouraged it, but I didn't bring it up." Godzilla Save the Earth is a fire PS2 game. That's another underrated banger as well. 100%. It's one of those games that true gamers know about, but like Okami's good as well. See, all these games have really come out on Switch as well, so I've got most of them on Switch. But I don't really fuck with PS2 emulators because they're not usually that good. Maybe you can suggest a good one for me. Mexican food truck. That's who it is. Mexican food truck. Yeah. For some reason, he was very upset about the midget conversation we had last week. Maybe it was before last week. Beautiful Joe's amazing as well. Beautiful Joe, I've also got on GameCube. I've got a sealed copy of that as well. It's worth a few pennies, you know what I'm saying? I feel like a midget's body type would gross me out. Yeah, we're not going back here again. Maybe. I don't know. The smashing midgets guy should be your bio. Yeah. I mean, if I was that guy, I'd happily embrace it, but I'm just not that guy. Nah, he's a character. He doesn't mean it. Now I'm assuming so as well. But he seemed he basically he's come into my channel once or twice and said I'm unsubscribing. This midget shit is like, and then he genuinely unsubscribed. And he seems to make he kind of goes at me for looking like a bag of milk, which is also true. I'm all good for a little bit of banter, but I was just concerned that he was genuinely grossed out by that conversation, which most people would be entitled to be. To be fair, it was a fairly bad one. But that's the thing I'm trying to cultivate in here. Like anything goes. So I can't be disappointed when all things break loose. Do you see what I mean? You know, I've got to say it. This is my fault because by me talking about it, I'm encouraging it. Time Splitters 2 is one of my favorite games on I played Time Splitters 2 like several weeks ago. I played it on an emulator and it still really holds up. Whereas when I tried to play GoldenEye again, I don't know if you guys have tried to do that, it doesn't hold up well. Whereas Time Splitters 2 is still a really fun game. I ended up playing it all the way through again. It's a really good game. You're the Bad Midgets MMA channel. And this was the thing. Chris brought it up. He was like, my first crush was a midget. And then people just went wild of it. And I was literally just reading stuff out. I just got known. I just got known for that. Or known for that by some in the community. I'm known by other horrible things in the community as well. I wouldn't want to say it's just midget stuff. You know, there's other shitty strings to this bow as well. I feel like he doesn't mean it. He says crazy things in my chat. That's probably the case. That's probably the case. He's a hard one to gauge. I'll put it that way. When you were a teacher, what was your syllabus or curriculum? It depends on what level you were talking about. So I did teach in I taught at middle school for a while, and I taught English lit, and sometimes I taught maths, which wasn't as fun. But I mostly did like World War II type literature. That was the unit I mostly got stuck with when I was a professor. So it was mostly that. But yeah, I've got PTSD about those days. Those like 18-hour days and stuff. It was tough. Yeah, the midget. I fear the Asian snatcher. I feel was more fair because I definitely can't avoid that after the shit I've said on here. Talk about how Sly Cooper 3, how good Sly Cooper 3 is. I haven't played it. I would love to gloss it for you, but I've never played it. Bad midgets. The thing is, I might have to just lean into it at some point. Sly Cooper is in fact goated. It's a platformer, right? Yeah, I definitely haven't. The raccoon, I definitely haven't played it. I had the image of it in my head, but I definitely haven't played it. Eat the back door or leave it closed. We've talked about this as well. I think I would describe the eat in the back door situation as the cost of doing business, is how I would describe it. Ratchet and Clank was better, to be honest. I was a little bit disappointed with the Ratchet and Clank game on PS5. I couldn't really get into it. But it was definitely an achievement. Metal Gear Solid 2 is up there for sure. One of my favorite games. Again, though, Metal Gear Solid is one of those games here. I've gone back and played the first one and the second one since, because there was like a triple pack that they released on PSP a while back, a couple of years ago. It doesn't hold up well. The first two games play really janky. And I used to think that Metal Gear Solid 3 was the worst out of the three, but it's not. It actually naturally it would hold up better because it's a more recent game technologically. But nah, man, the first two do not hold up at all. They don't. It's a shame, really. I wouldn't mind seeing those games get remade if they were remade for the worst. If they were made by somebody who genuinely loved the series. Stream with midget strippers and watch your sub count explode. I mean, if you can recommend some, I'm not going to go out searching for them if that's what you're proposing. I don't have time for that. Are you a vegan, bro? And are you Chinese? I'm a fucking meat Chad, bro. And the mother of my kids is Chinese, so I do have to tread lightly on that one. You're not going to see me saying any derogatory things about China that I haven't said already. Nah, unless I'm dating the chick, I'm chilling. Cool. The old Ratchet and Clank's not the PS5 for sure. The old ones were really good. Were really good games, 100%. Yeah. The new one's kind of a little bit too convoluted for me. Bully on PS2. I've got Bully on Xbox. It's a game that I didn't really get. It's by the same team that made GTA, right? Bullies are really. Oh, the Monkey Island games were great as well. I still haven't played the new one, but the old games were amazing. Was it Guy Threepwood or whatever his name was? Those games are goated. Did you, Aaron Tatz? Did you play Grim Fandango as well? I consider those games in kind of the same type. Grim Fandango was another goat for me. Do you think Paul Craig ever wins again? Nah, definitely not. Bro, I don't need an excuse. I don't need an excuse to go in the stink. I'm just saying it's the cost of doing business. You know? GTA San Andreas on PS2 was still my shit. GTA San Andreas is still better than Cyberpunk. The things you can do on that game are crazy. Yeah, Aaron Tatch, check out Grim Fandango. I'll type it in the chat here. If you like Monkey Island, Grim Fandango is like that charged up to 11. It's amazing. Grim Fandango. And there's loads of versions of it everywhere. Yeah, Bully was really, really good as well. It's not a game that I finished, but how much longer are you streaming? Probably about 45 minutes. Talk about Shadow the Hedgehog being mid. Shadow the Hedgehog is mid. Into the Red Dead games. I really like the first one. I played into it deeply. The second one, I probably got like 6 or 7 hours into it and just gave up. I think it's because of my age, man. I don't have time to do that shit. So, the thing is with Cyberpunk, yeah, I see Cyberpunk, certainly the original iteration of it. It's as fucking wide as an ocean, but as shallow as a puddle. That's how I would describe that game. But they have made improvements to it since. But the things that they promised and the things that they delivered on that game were not the one. I enjoyed playing it, and I played it when it originally came out, and I still enjoyed it. But for what it could have been, it's a very shallow game. Best GTA other than 5. I'd probably have to go with San Andreas. I think it just had something to it. I haven't watched any of the Paddy. I've watched some of it, like little bits of it, because I was on ITP. Like ITP went on a little bit later than he usually does, so I jumped on there today, or maybe he didn't, and I just didn't see that the stream was live. But I jumped on there and saw parts of it, and it looked like they fairly, they looked like they had a fairly good back and forth. So I'll definitely go and check it out at some point. Yeah. So yeah, Chris Gray, I'd say about another 45 minutes. We'll see how things go. Yeah, the Warriors is a great one. But Red Dead 2 is something that I need to go back to at some point. San Andreas is a top 5 game of all time, especially when you account for what it did for the industry. Bro, for the time that it operated in, the things you can do in that game are fucking crazy. I don't want to see it ever remade, though. I just hope that GTA 6 brings things to another level again. I mean, I imagine it probably will. Some chicks hate the tongue and the anus. I imagine they do. I can't really think of many. Especially when Phantom Liberty. Again, when Phantom Liberty dropped, it felt like things were a little bit too convoluted at that point. I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get into it. I got it right before the 2.0 update. So yeah, you landed at the right time. I literally bought it before it came out, stupidly, because I just thought it was going to be great. And then I enjoyed the game, but I can see where it's very, very flawed. Yeah, GTA Vice City does have that 80s soundtrack, which is really good. Magni versus Morales got announced. I'm going to say this now. I'm going to be the first to say it in here. I have a feeling that Magni's going to beat him. I don't think Morales is that good. And I'm probably going to be alone for that one. But considering the year that I've had, you might want to take my advice on this one. I think Morales is overrated. And I think Magni's going to touch him. Okay, time to chef up some ramen. All this Asian talk got me hungry. The Asian talk that you started, by the way. Remember booting up GTA 4 because GTA 5 was bad. The thing is that I haven't played through GTA 4, and apparently a lot of people see that game as the GOAT. That's another one that I couldn't get into. And I've heard it's incredible. I tried to get it on my Steam Deck and it's not that compatible with it, so I've been meaning to go back and give it a try. GTA 4 is another one on the list that I really need to go back to. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 was my absolute favorite as a kid. Was that on PS2 as well? I haven't played through much of the Dragon Ball Z games. I've played one or two of them. They're those ones where you have like a very big fucking empty space, right? And you're pretty much, shooting people from, you know what I'm saying? Morales is more patient than Mallet. He might win. Possibly. I think it's going to be tougher than people think, though. He's probably going to end up being like a minus 300 favorite, which I would advise. Here's the thing. I'm not saying bet on Neil Magny, but the Morales odds are going to be way too wide. I'm telling you now. And Magny is a slippery cunt. I can see him winning that. Does your Asian wife cook? What makes you think I'm married? I very fondly refer to her as the mother of my children, and I leave it at that. How you doing, Northwest? Again, I would remind people, please get over to Northwest channel. If you are in the mood to subscribe to a worthy cause or to donate to a worthy cause, Northwest is your guy. A genuine homeless MMA YouTuber who makes really great content and is a very solid friend to the community. So if you feel like donating a few pounds, if you're feeling generous tonight, send them to Northwest 425's way. If you jump into his channel, your PayPal's in your channel description, I assume. So jump over to Northwest and do a good deed for the day. I'm sure he'd really appreciate it. Asian women love to take care of their man. Not the case. Not the case of all of them. Cooking beef is more accurate, for sure. I think that's a fairly. I don't want to go too much into that, but like, yeah, let's just say it's yeah, it is what it is. Nah, the OG Budokai games were similar to traditional fighting game. Oh, right, okay, fair enough. Because I don't like those ones where you just have like a massive fucking platform and you're basically flying around trying to like. I never got into them. I'm not really a major beat 'em up guy either, but I prefer them definitely to. Did you see the ESPN 100 athletes pure dog shit rankings? I saw that Jon Jones was 66th, which was interesting to me. I guess. I think Morales is good, but he's very raw. He definitely is raw. Wait, what race is your wife? I'm just going to say, ITP, the situation is complicated, but the mother of my children are half Chinese. Or one of them is. It's complicated. Thoughts on me being an Elden Ring boss in the MMA YouTuber verse? Again, that's another very decent way to subscribe you, to be fair. Or to describe you. You're like a fucking boss that won't die. No matter how many times you try to fucking wipe him out of the game. Thoughts on the Soul games? I do love them. Funnily enough, though, I still haven't played Elden Ring. I played like Dark Souls 1 and 2. I played Bloodborne. And I played Demon Souls. But I haven't played Elden Ring yet. Can I make lazy Chinese? It's a free country, bro. And it seems like, I mean, you've already fucked it. You've already fucked it up here. No, you're not overstepping. It's I'm fairly liberal about talking about anything in here, but I kind of draw the line at talking about the mother of my kids. That's kind of where it's at. Mostly because like it's an interesting situation and I don't like to create, let's just say, potentially choppy waters. Because one day she could stumble on this and it could get interesting. I'll put it that way. So I'm very much I think just out of respect, because obviously she's had my kid. I'm very much like I don't talk about anything too specific with her, but I don't blame anyone for asking. It's all good. Budokai 3 is one I'd recommend. I'll definitely check it out then. Bloodborne is my favorite of the Soulborne games. I think Bloodborne was manageable. I'll put it that way. Whereas Dark Souls 1 and 2 were just unnecessarily cruel. Just spilled my bev on my phone. I hope nobody got accidentally timed out. I think we're good. Yeah, there's never any overstepping for sure. It's people are welcome to ask whatever they want. There'll just be the odd occasion where I'll be like, nah, it's not something that I really talk about too much. I have no disparaging remarks clause in my divorce agreement too. Yeah, there is that. So would you say Chinese is your favorite Asian then? Um, no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Um, like I said, when I was very young, um, I spent a lot of time in Thailand, and their women are amazing. And then I spent a lot of time in the Philippines, and they have amazing people there as well. Um, so it's kind of like, I guess it's just down to individual experiences. I've had good and bad experiences of all types of women, you know. But I've been kind of out of the game primarily for like the last, few years, if not longer. Like I haven't been as reckless and crazy as I was in the past. I'll put it that way, which is probably a good thing. Hell yeah, Asian race. Melson's fucking licking his chops right now. I think Melson was about to click off and he heard Chinese what? I'm back, baby. Let's get back into this. I'm still bummed over Van getting. Oh, sorry, I got distracted by No Chill's follow up. I'm pretty bummed about it as well. I thought he was in full control of that fight. He's gonna have some trouble, man, just because he's so small. I can see him having troubles down the line, but we'll see how it goes for him. I think he's in a stage where he's young. You just have to give him some decent matchups and let him build himself a little bit. Ladyboy or Werner Jandaroba? I'd have to think about it. Can you honestly tell me, No Chill, that you've never done somebody as bad as Werner Jandaroba? Because I don't believe you, bro. We've talked about slump busters in the past on here. One of my favorite conversations I've ever had in here. And you got to be grateful for them. A slump buster comes along once in a while to just get your dick back in the game. You got to give your Werners in the world a bit of love, man. They're there to get you back in the game. The Chinese love me. That's a very broad statement you've just laid out there, Melson. It's a big fucking country, bro. And would you care to elaborate on that? Do they have chili dogs in the UK? Nah, not really. I think you can get them in some places, but they're not like a. You'd have to dig. Maybe somebody from the UK who's here, who travels around a little bit more than I do, can verify that. But I don't really see like. You kind of have to go out of your way to find a chili dog. It was a good stoppage. I don't think the fight will affect him negatively. Look, he was in control. Charles Johnson knew that he was losing the fight, and Charles Johnson did what most fighters don't do in that situation, like try and land a stupid takedown. He went for it, and he ended up getting rewarded for it. So it should be a lesson to all fighters out there who could be losing going into a third round, just to fucking go for it. Was that an Alibaba notification in the background of your stream, or am I going schizo? You're going schizo, bro. You're definitely you're staying schizo. I wouldn't take a Jandaroba to get back in the game. Hell nah. I don't believe you. Werner is definitely flexible. Add some makeup, chef's kiss. I think you can make it work. Thoughts on Charles Oliveira and Brian Ortega being signed for 306? I called this, bro. I called it. I thought I thought they were gonna go in that direction. I think the fact that they were pushing Brian Ortega up to 306, I couldn't see any obvious matchups for him there. And him going up to 155, I called it. I think I said it in a. I think I spoke about it like maybe 2 streams ago, and we did like a prediction time. And I said that that's the matchup they're gonna make, and I'm cool with it, man. I'm cool with it. I'd rather he just books that fight than letting Colby flirt with him, because he's not gonna get that fight. Each time you said Chinese, I heard a faint Alibaba notification. She looks like a zombie, man. That punana is rotten. Oh, is chili dog in a thing? Who am I picking? I'm gonna go with Charles Oliveira. I'm gonna go with Charles Oliveira just because we don't know. I think Brian Ortega's better than people give him credit for, but we haven't seen him at 155. And Charles Oliveira is still a beast, so I'm gonna go with Charlie Olives. It was a Carter announcement. Yeah, Ruben Carter's been very careful about how he says things these days. He kind of starts his tweets now with "it is rumored" in the hopes that will deflect some of the negative attention he's been getting. I'm not sure if the fight's been fully confirmed, but if it does happen, I would go with Charlie Olives. I haven't seen if it's been fully if it's just Ruben Carter saying it, then we're still at square one as far as I'm concerned. What the fuck is chili dogging? Have I missed again? I'm learning things that I don't really need to know about in this fucking community, aren't I? I'll bite. I'll bite. All right. When you're tit fucking a girl and you take a dump on her chest to provide lubricant, I really walked into that one. I feel better about myself having not known that, to be honest. But thanks for that. Um, ugh. How did you both write punani at the same time? Yeah, he said allegedly. Allegedly is his use of word now. It's allegedly. That's how he's getting himself out of trouble. That's not going to have the same effect though. When you write allegedly, people are just going to ignore you. I'm sorry, Chris. I just found out. I googled it. And I wish I hadn't, but considering I've just said, yeah. Apparently, it's using shit as lubricant for a tit fuck. The thing is, yeah, I'm a fairly liberal individual when it comes to bedroom activities, but I think feces should very firmly be kept out of it. That's all I'm gonna say. Just when I feel like I'm getting this chat back on track, somebody has to fucking spoil it again. Allegedly, as per source. Yeah. Yeah, his reputation's. I mean, I don't think he ever had a reputation. I think anyone who was taking him at face value was. You're kind of asking for trouble on that one. Does this go down as a good stream or not? I'm not sure if it does. I mean, I'm obviously grateful for having all of you here, but like, Jesus Christ, like, just as soon as email gets going, we're fucked again. Email does have a special. That's email's special power. See, you say I derailed the track. I was talking about food and was gonna make MMA Joey eating hot dog jokes. Some of them just saying gay shit. Yeah, that one wasn't on you, to be fair. I think you threw the layup and then Chris Gray just dunked that shit in. Oh god, the converse. Hank, we were back on track. We were talking about games. We were back talking about MMA, and then somebody mentioned chili dogging. It's all right though. It's fine. It's all good. I'm alive, so that's a plus. Yeah. So just a reminder to everyone. Again, if you're feeling charitable this afternoon and you want to do something nice for somebody who genuinely needs it, get over to Northwest. Don't just subscribe, but also donate to him on PayPal because it genuinely makes a difference. So please do that. Yeah, I would say C is fair. They can't all be bangers. Like my streaming history is very much like the UFC's been this year. We've had some GOAT cards along the way, but we've also had some fucking UFC 302s. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. That's the issue. Like, I cannot control the direction the chat's going in. Mind if I, yeah, bro, you don't have to ask to plug in here. Everyone is welcome to plug whatever they want. It's all good. I kind of give free reign to that kind of stuff. So if you want to plug your stuff, then please by all means do so. I'm very happy to support anyone in here because I'm obviously very grateful for the people who've supported me along the way. Thanks very much, Paradox, as always, man. You're a ledge. And thanks very much, Westy, as well. First hour was A plus. Yeah, it was. That's the thing. That's the thing with live chats, man. You kind of have to let the community go where it wants to go. And sometimes it's going to go to great places. Sometimes it's going to go in the toilet. But it is what it is. It fucking is what it is. Only mods can drop links for your information. Yeah, that's why I feel like it's important to shout the guys out though because they really do a good job in here of keeping that up. England has good desserts though. I mean, what is a quintessentially English dessert though? I mean, we definitely have a good range. You know, it just reminds me of this. I mean, I've only been streaming for what, a couple of months, and we've talked about a wide range of shit in here. We talked about desserts for like 20 minutes the other day. It's just that kind of place, man. It is what it is. Nah, bro. Nah, emo. Don't. If you're American and you're calling us fat fatties, you're fucking out of pocket on that one. Even the beans on toast. I've never eaten beans on toast in my life. I've never eaten beans on toast in my life. And calling English people fatties coming from you fat Yankee pricks is fucking cheeky. Eating mess is fire. English chili dogging pie. To be fair, man, it's really hard for us to defend our national staples here in terms of food because it is a fucking shit show. But we steal from everyone else, so it's good, you know. Hank the Tank live for 2 hours. Check it out, fellas, and give it a like if you like. Appreciate that, Hank the Tank. Definitely get over there and subscribe. I'm really sorry that I missed it yesterday, by the way. I genuinely didn't know you were on. I thought you were going on Friday. But you can definitely count on me turning up at some point. Only people in Texas are fat. I find that very hard to believe. I haven't been to Texas, and the places I've been to America, I saw some fucking land wells when I was over there. So I'm calling bullshit on that one as well. Houston has the most fat asses. See, fat in America is like next level. That's what it is. We basically steal everyone else's cuisine because we have to. And again, reminder to subscribe to Paradox the Chad. By the way, are you doing a video tomorrow? I've got a video dropping about the sphere that Jax and I made. Subscribe to Making the Walk MMA. Yeah, banoffee pie is good. I'm a sticky toffee pudding guy, if I'm being real. With Sunday roast is unbelievably fire. You're right about that. But everything else about English food is terrible with your beans on. Bro, ITP. I've never fucking eaten beans on toast. That's not a staple on here. That's not a staple out here. If you're looking for staples, you've got to look at Sunday roasts, toad in the hole, which ain't really that good either. Fish and chips, pie and mash, those kind of things. I'm willing to get behind those, but this bean on, bruv, a full English breakfast is fire. Do you know? I'm going back. I'm going back on what I just said. Some English food is fucking fire. Remember, yeah, you would be nothing without us, and we're coming back to take your country back at some point. You fucking cunts. What gay fruit cake flavor are you vaping on? Again, I can't defend that. It's pineapple. It's pretty damn good. Pineapple's the one. Bangers and mash as well. Toad in the hole is what caused my first divorce. How many times have you been divorced, No Chill? Your 23-year-old looking ass. Ever seen the show My 600 Pound Life? I have not. But I'm pretty sure I can guess what that's about. What would you consider like a quintessential American cuisine then? I bet you're gonna say something like hamburgers, which ain't fucking American, by the way. Give me something. Give me a quintessentially American cuisine, and I'll throw it back in your face. Do you send an ITP like share your gay vapes with each other? I don't think we've done that, but I mean, I'm down for that. I'm down for that. We beat your bro. You don't know who you're fucking with, bro. Our army is mustard. I do. That's the thing. I don't usually use a vape throughout the day. It's usually when I'm on stream or when I'm drunk off my tits. That's usually when I break it out. Twice, and I'm 56. I'm never gonna until you do the ball bag reveal stream. I'm not gonna believe that you're 20. That you're 56. Texas barbecue. Nah, barbecue ain't. I don't know. Boiled crawfish. Is that American though? Frankie and ITP chef Peyton Talbot's vape daily. I don't even know what that means. He already refuted that claim and said he was just doing something else and recording it. That's what I heard. But I don't partake in such proclivities. I used to smoke weed, but I gave it up like 12 years ago. Because the weed in fucking the weed in the UK makes you dumb and lazy and unmotivated. How you doing, Crystal? You missed a fucking shit show in here tonight. By the way, Crystal, I did get around to watching The Beekeeper. I have some thoughts. Vapes for stream to look. Man, there's no looking cool. The one that I got, yeah, does not look cool. It's fucking huge, but it does have like. I was saying this on stream the other day. Fried chicken in American Eva, bro. Try again. It has like 4 pods that you can like rotate and put like different flavors into, which is pretty goated to me. I kind of appreciate that. So, but like I said, I'm only going to go back to smoking weed if I can get my hands on some genuinely decent shit, because it doesn't seem like there's no point in smoking it here. It's like sanded down, or people dunk it in fucking water to make it way more. So I'm not about that life. I love your channel and your vibes, but vaping is fucking gay. It basically was like, it's like my compromise. Because I used to smoke cigarettes and I quit those like 5 years ago. And when I get drunk, you just kind of need to do something, you know? So I don't know. I get why people have that opinion though. The thing is, no chill. If I had access to like decent shit here, then because weed's not legal here. Nothing's legal here. So like they even shame people from smoking cigarettes as well. It's like, you know, you can't see them when you go into the store. They're behind like a fucking gate. I'll hook you up with that Canadian Thai import, Frankie. Don't worry. Yeah, when I get over, you've got the hookup over here, yeah. If I could get my hands on some decent weed, basically, I quit smoking weed after I went to Amsterdam because I realized that I wasn't really smoking real weed when I was here. I used to think I was a pro, but after going to Amsterdam, basically getting fucking blitzed into a near coma where I couldn't move for like 5 hours, I was like, I couldn't go back to smoking UK weed. It's just shit. I'm not defending vaping because it's impossible. It's impossible. But to me, it's just a compromise. Let me set you up with some nose candy. You will never want to vape again. Again, man, I'm not defending vaping. It's just like a compromise for me. I don't know how you do nose candy in the pool though. Like, doesn't your shit just get really wet? Like, you must be a pro if you're able to fucking snort like a G in the fucking swimming pool. Because I don't know how you would logistically work that out. I've got that unreal British Columbian Mary Jane pull up. That might be worth coming to Canada for. That might pull me out there. I have had Cali bud. Like I've had genuine, really good weed, but that's the thing. It's like you can't get it here. It's a waste of time. Or basically, I'm not saying that I've never had good weed in the UK, but that's bullshit. But it's like I would say comfortably 7 times out of 10. And back in the day when I used to smoke, I was broke. So I started smoking cigarettes and weed when I was like 14. And I quit weed when I was 22. And then I didn't smoke, or maybe 23. And then I didn't smoke. I didn't smoke cigarettes for like years, like 3 or 4 years, and then I started again, and then I quit again like 5 years ago. So that's a brief history lesson on my But I've never done any. I've never done anything else. I've never done coke. I've never done. I'm pretty sure I've spoken about this before. I've been MDMA bombed a few times. Um, but like I said, it was never like expressly stated. But there was definitely a few times when I got MDMA bombed in like my drinks and stuff. Because I had mates around me that kind of did that kind of shit. So I figure like if I'm ever going to get back into the drug game again, it's going to be like hallucinogenics or some kind of shit. It's going to have to be worth my time, or like really good weed that doesn't taste like shit and actually gives you a nice high as opposed to just making you dumb and tired and demotivated. So that's my stance on the whole situation. But yeah, I did smoke cigarettes for a while, but it's been collectively about 13 years since I started that I've been off them. So, and I'm never gonna smoke cigarettes again. I actually find them kind of disgusting now. I'm not big on the cigarettes. Smoking indoors is the move. Bring that back along with soccer kicks. I think the smoking indoors thing had a thing to do with it. Bad MMA math. Would you do an ayahuasca trip? I would. I fucking would, bro. I would. He's with me. We need to get this guy in a room and we're gonna serve him some poppy flavored tea. Not the high I was hoping for. Or maybe I just don't know enough about poppy flavored tea. I don't know. I don't know. Let me just double check what ayahuasca is before I commit to this endeavor. Oh, it's a plant-based psychedelic. I would do that. I would do that. Like I said, if I'm gonna get back into it, yeah, I'm gonna do. It's gonna be the hallucinogenic game for sure. I feel like I need to experience that at some point in my life. But the thing is, though, I'm not sure if the stories I've heard from people about hallucinogenics are actually true. Because when I've brought it up on here, everyone's like, cap, cap, cap. Yeah, Krista, you're teaching your fucking crows to smoke. Depends if Frankie is an uppers kind of guy or a downers kind of guy. I don't even know myself. I don't even know myself. I'd assume I'd assume I'm an uppers guy. I don't know. How much longer are you streaming? I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna do maybe another like I'm gonna say 15 minutes, but I'm gonna loosely say that. I'd say 15, 20 minutes probably. See, you guys are blowing my mind right now. I don't know that much about drugs. Mushrooms. Or structurally similar to magic mushrooms. Yeah, I've never done that either, obviously. Let me know when you've done it 25 times. You guys sound like you know what the fuck you're doing, though. Ayahuasca is what Dan Hardy did to become so sanctimonious. I think I'll pass then. I think I'll pass. Oh, meth. Is that what? I guess I don't even know. Again, I just assumed uppers because it sounds like what you're going. What's the difference? What's the difference between uppers and downers? Educate me on here. I know absolutely zero about drugs. Raid musical after the stream. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. We'll definitely jump over to musical after the stream's over. I'll probably get if is musical on now. Oh, DMT is why Dan Hardy thinks he's a samurai. This is what I'm saying. Yeah, I need to be very careful of the recommendations I take on here because you guys are absolute cunts and you're definitely going to try and get me killed. Is musical MMA on now? Yeah. Uppers are like cocaine and MDMA, etc. Downers are like alcohol and weed. That's what I'm saying. I feel like I've done and Xanax. I feel like I'd probably be more inclined to try because I've never really tried uppers. I've never done MDMA knowingly, and I've never done coke. So like, I guess for the experience, I'd probably want to try these things at least a couple times. Musicals on now. Yeah, we'll dive. We'll round the stream off in about 5-10 minutes and then head over there. Impression of ITP doing DMT and all he sees during his trip in trannies in the UFC. Ah, that's what you wanted me to read out, yeah? But no, I appreciate the education there, Mo. That definitely makes it impression of email getting mad at his master ego than getting punished after but liking it. Uppers increased heart rate are a lot more fast-paced adrenaline types of feeling usually. There's a lot of heart disease in my family, so I'm not sure if that's a wise choice for me, but I guess if I do it once or twice, it wouldn't be that bad. I don't really have an addictive personality. Downers is an opioid like alcohol, heroin, etc. Uppers are the amphetamines, Adderall, Coke. Damn, I'm learning a lot tonight. Meth is a whole different kind of thing. There's three main ways to do it, and all three main ways are different kind of high. I do not recommend any of them. Nah, meth is something I definitely. I mean, I'm not completely stupid. I would say. Does anybody else find it terrifying that Crystal knows so much about Crystal? Yeah, yeah. Crystal meth is definitely a big no-no. I'll definitely say that. Mo, I'll see you at the Narcotics Anonymous meetup. So what do you reckon then, fellas? Should we raid musical? Because we have been going here for some time now, and I do want to show somebody else in the community some love. So could somebody throw up a link to musical MMA in the chat, please? And then we'll dive over there. I don't know who's in here who's modded who can do that actually. I might have to do it myself. Let's have a look. There's musical MMA. All right, let's chuck in musical MMA there. Read me and then raid musical. What do I need to read now? What did I miss? Mushrooms is where is that if you don't got the moolah for coke or can't smoke good Mary Jane. I wouldn't even know where to get good mushrooms here either. It's all the devil's work, yeah. For sure. Fuck musical. He came in here and started arguing with email. I mean, we kind of get that around here from time to time. I enjoy both of them very much. I wasn't sure if he was arguing with email or agreeing with him. Oh, Crystal, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel a lot better. We can get into the talk about Beekeeper tomorrow. I'm probably going to go live tomorrow as well. So we'll catch up with that chatter. I've got a few comments to make. And I want to know what your thoughts are on it as well. So we'll definitely get into that at some stage tomorrow. It keeps getting censored. Why is it getting censored? Why is it getting censored? I don't think there's anything like that going on in here. I read the DMT comment is why Dan Hardy thinks he's a samurai, and that's the last one I can see. Dan Weston, you're yeah, Weston's bang on this game. Peace out, Frankie. Have a good night, dog. Can't wait for the Dyke Fight Night Saturday. Yeah, I'm not gonna be here. I'm not gonna be here streaming for that, but I'll probably be on somebody's watch along. Probably Dougie's, to be fair. Feel better, Crystal. Stop doing meth. I'm gonna go to musical now. Have a good one. Take it easy, email. Thanks for stopping by and fucking my life up, bro. I really appreciate it, but I don't. To re-educate him. God, I haven't done the N word in a long time. I don't think I'm ever gonna touch that again. What, as in narcotics here? Man, yeah, I've never met such a divisive character in all my days. Email is both revered and, well, I think revered just pretty much sums it up, really. But yeah, do raid musical MMA because I'm probably gonna head over there myself. It's been a while since I've been in there. So shout out to musical MMA. I think I've uh, I think I've survived as much of this stream as I can tonight. I think this definitely ends on like a C for me. A definite C. Yep, narcotics. I'm hiding from that for the rest of my life. Mikey's in here. I feel like sticking around now because we haven't seen Mikey around for a little while. How you doing, Mikey? Good to have you in here, brother. I'll stick around for another few minutes for Mikey. How you doing, man? As usual, we didn't talk about any of the things I was planning on talking about today. It just went completely off the rails. Mo and Crystal and me are in Narcotics Anonymous. There is a bit of a support group thing going on in here as well. It could turn into that as well. But yeah, do head over to musical MMA because I think we are gonna like gradually wind things down now. Didn't you enjoy the chili dogging talk? Nah, not really. Not really. No, I didn't. That was disturbing. You could have warned me. And now it's forever in my search history. Even if I delete it, you know how that goes. You know how that goes. It's always going to be in there. You've ruined me. I feel like my channel's gone to places that I wasn't expecting, and now I can never get it back. We'll have good days and bad days. We'll chalk this one down to a learning experience, I guess. But yeah, so I'm gonna post the link again. Get over there and raid musical MMA. And give your boy a shout out. And I'll come and join you guys over there. I can probably hang about for like another half an hour, and it would be nice to hang out in somebody else's stream before I head off. Appreciate having you, Mikey. Much love, man. How's work and everything going? Got to rewatch it. Do you mean rewatch The Beekeeper? I've got a lot of thoughts. I've got a lot of thoughts on that one. I'm still not sure how I feel. It's going to be a complicated. Yeah, acid's on the list as well. Acid's definitely on the list. I feel like mushrooms are probably going to be the most likely avenue for me, though. That probably seems like the fairest compromise. Something that's not addictive, but you might get like a bit of a, and again, it's the right kind of. I'm going to really need to be educated, and I'm going to need to depend on some trustworthy people on here, which genuinely makes me worried. I'm a good friend. I showed you Guru reading True Geordie's. It was you. Somebody tried to throw that. Somebody tried to blame our musical MMA for that. It was you who DM'd them to me. You've had an impact on my life that I would have never expected. I guess I'm wiser in the world now. I thought I'd experienced stuff. Ah, you're exhausted. I bet you are, man. Another long one. Yeah. Has that fucking bitch got off your back yet? I wonder. Yeah, we peaked at like 32 in here today, but Jesus Christ, I wish we hadn't. It turned into a fucking children's playground for about an hour here. But I thank you to some of the people who managed to pull things back on track with like trying to spam like Star Wars talk and gaming talk, whatever could come into your head. We managed to get to somewhat on track at some point. Crystal, is this one sec. Yeah, musical MMA. Thanks for relinking that. I really appreciate it. Cheers, brother. You're more than welcome, Chris. I appreciate you, man. God damn, no, she's miserable. You're always going to get people like that. At least you're up to 21 likes. Yeah. I wonder how many dislikes are going to be on here as well. I don't usually get many, to be fair, but I have a feeling tonight might have been that night. Got another exciting card coming up. Yeah. It's definitely worse than last week's card, which is an achievement in itself. But peace, Westy, bro. I'll talk to you soon. And no, hopefully somebody will fucking dick her down, Mikey, and that you'll get where somebody will do you a favor and do that one. Let me break for 1 second. I have 8.1k views. I have never had a video get that many. That is goated right there. I think my most popular video hit like 2.4. But there's plenty of time. But to be fair, a bird smoking a cigarette is better than anything I've ever done on my channel. So it's warranted. All right, so last minute thing. Get yourselves over to Musical MMA. I think I'm going to close things down now. I appreciate all of you, and especially the ones who try to keep things on track. You're absolute legends. I'll catch you all tomorrow, I guess. We'll see how things go. I should be there. Yeah, 2024 has been terrible year in terms of card quality. We've got into that a fair bit, and we'll definitely get into it more tomorrow. Hopefully, I can catch you on it. I've been here for like 2.5 hours now. I think I'm going to knock it on the head. It's been a funny one. Take it easy, Mikey. I'll catch up with you soon. Everyone else who stuck around, peace. I'll see you over at Musical.